Charles Romulus, National Coordinator for Jeff SGP. Our stakeholders present, board members of our Flowing Clean project, one and all, good afternoon. Today is not just about a ceremony, it's about a call to action. We are actually getting things done in cleaning our river and getting ready for a safer, more exciting clear water project in Soufriere. To give us a little insight into this project, I would now like to call upon our coordinator, Nadia Casabon, to share with us a little bit. Put your hands together for her.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to be officially deploying the Soufriere River Boom, and we're holding the ribbon cutting ceremony very briefly before it starts to rain, and then we'll be proceeding to whispers for the rest of the program. We have two very interesting, exciting videos for you to watch, and let me just welcome everybody. Those of you who are not familiar, my name is Nadia Casabon. I'm the program director for Waterways Caribbean Sea, and we have this Flowing Clean project, which is being funded by Jeff Small Grants program with the ProCari Plus as the main funding agency. Also being co-funded by the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, and we have received some co-funding from some other organizations. I can mention them very briefly. Complete Analytical Services, also through all the technical expertise of the persons from different organizations on the Soufriere River Systems Management Committee, most of whom are present here today. And for the project, we are trying to improve the Soufriere River, improve the water quality of the Soufriere River, improve the overall health of our residents as well, because as you well know, the impact on water and human health is very, very closely related, and we have already begun to see and get some results from the project through the testing that we have done. But today, our main show is the Soufriere River Boom, and the purpose of the boom is simply to intercept and to stop the majority of the trash flowing downstream from getting to the sea. We know how important our fisheries industry is, know how important our beaches and our reefs are to the tourism industry and to us as St. Lucians. We need to do our utmost best to protect the health of the reef and protect the fish as well. And the boom simply is a floating device that when the water level rises, it is going to float and rise as well and trap any floating debris and prevent it from getting to the sea. If you notice, the boom, it stretches the entire width of the river. This is the second one that Waterways is deploying. The first one was deployed in the Shock River, so this is the second one. And I already have two other ministers who are interested in putting booms in their rivers, in their constituencies. So the litter boom is going to be managed jointly by us and two representatives from the Soufriere Town Council. Let me call them forward. We have Mr. Clinton and Mr. Niall Sylvester Clinton James, who will be the two persons who will be working with me. You can come forward. Yeah, so these are the two gentlemen who will be working with me. Other than cleaning out the trash when it is collected on a monthly basis, today they picked up some very unsavory items in the Soufriere River just to make this area clean enough for today. So I want to say thank you very much to the two of them. All right. Yes, so I am now going to invite our district representative and our Jeff representative, Miss George, Miss Xavier, to come forward to jointly cut the ribbon to officially launch the Soufriere Litter Boom. So Mr. Oji and Mr. Romulus, the members of the committee, please come forward.
Let's come forward and form a little arch so we can represent.
Yes. No, just to have them on the side.
You want us to go on that
Yes.
side or stay on that side? You want to go on that side?
Okay. I'm going to go on one side. Yeah, for the camera. Where the drone is? Oh, I see it. You see that? Okay. All right. So,
So, are we ready? Who's taking?
yes, the two of you.
So what do I do? Just symbolically.
At this moment,
Symbolically.
Honorable Emma Hippolyte and a rep from the Jeff office is going to cut the ribbon. Put your hands together for them. A beautiful moment. Our boom being deployed in the Sufra River. And at this moment, I'd like to invite everyone to join us upstairs Whispers so we can continue our ceremony. Thank you very much for joining us on the riverbank for the cutting of the ribbon. And let me just welcome you here to the official ceremony. Before we do so, I'd like to call Mrs. Mitchell to lead us in prayer.
Leave it here? Okay. For those of us who sign ourselves, let's go ahead and do that. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this new day and for bringing us to this commissioning of the river boom. We invite your presence among us as we begin. Grant us wisdom, understanding, and unity in all that we do. May our thoughts be guided, our discussion be guided, our ceremony be successful, our words be kind, and our actions be purposeful. Bless this gathering and let it be fruitful and uplifting. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much for invoking God's prayer in our midst. So I don't say welcome twice, because I was just about giving a nice welcome speech. Let me put your hands together for our project coordinator, Ms. Kazobon, who officially welcomed us to this ceremony. Ms. Kazobon.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I want to say once again, welcome to Soufrière, and thank you all those who traveled quite a ways to be here with us this afternoon. I am tasked with welcoming you and telling you a little bit about what it is that we're doing here today, and I began at the river where we just deployed the first litter boom in Soufrière, the second one for St. Lucia. For those who are just joining us, the purpose of the litter boom is simply to prevent garbage and litter from traversing the Soufrière River and ending up in the sea, where it has deleterious effects on our reefs as well as the marine life in the sea. The litter boom, the purpose, as I just mentioned, it will be cleaned every month on a monthly basis with the assistance of the Soufrière Town Council workers who have been trained and who will be assisting me in collecting data from the litter collected. The second purpose for today is for us to debut 2 videos that were produced as part of the Flowing Clean project. The first video is on the Flowing Clean song, which was produced by Arthur Alain. He would like me to extend apologies on his behalf. He was set to be here for our ceremony today. However, he called me this morning to inform me that he had an emergency in Castries and he's unable to make it, so he would like to extend his apologies. So let me begin by playing our first video.
Boy, this the message. Yo, Soufrière, I tell you, keep the river clean, keep the river clean, keep the river clean, keep the river. I tell you, please keep the river clean. I beg you, please keep the river clean. No more trash in the water, keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future, keep the river clean. The time to act is now. So what we gonna do? We are the guardians of the river. Let we start anew. Pollution ain't no joke. Let we fix what we broke, so we can bust a river line again. Dumping from chemicals, no we not in that. Washing cars up the stream, no we not in that. Let's clean up pollution. We have a solution. Make Soufrière, please keep the river clean. I beg you, please keep the river clean. No more trash in the water, keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future, keep the river clean. Hey, tell your neighbor, tell a friend, can't let it continue again. It's our responsibility, protect the environment. A healthy river is a healthy Raw sewage in the streets, no we not in that. Let's clean up pollution. We have a solution. Make Soufriere River the envy of the nation. I tell you, please keep the river clean. I beg you, please keep the river clean. No more trashing of the water. Keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future. Keep the river clean. You're Soufriere, keep the river clean. Keep the river clean. Farmers, keep the river clean. Keep the river clean. Hoteliers, keep the river clean. Keep the river clean. Businesses, keep the river clean. Keep the river. Soufriere, please keep the river clean. I tell you, please keep the river clean. No more trashing of the water. Keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future. Keep the river clean. Hey.
Very much. Put your hands together for to this project. Finish. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to call upon Mr. Giles Romulus, coordinator for Jeff, to deliver a few remarks. Put your hands together for him.
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. I wish to recognize our distinguished district rep, Ms. Emma Hippolyte, my board member, Dr. Julie Xavier, social scientist and gender expert. I want to recognize my friends in Soufriere. I've known you all for such a long time. Every time I come here is reunification. And also the board, the Chief Executive Officer of the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, and all of those persons who are going to keep this buoy system working. You see, we meet today to put it there, but if it is not maintained, today is meaningless. We should perhaps not even meet today if we know we're not going to maintain it. Friends and colleagues, you know, frequently when we speak about sustainable development, the tendency is to speak about the quantitative aspect. How many jobs did we create? How much money is in our pocket? How many kilometers of road did we build? How many hospitals did we construct? Very often we forget about the qualitative dimensions of development. And this project has helped us, or is helping us, with the support of the district rep, to bring the two together. They're not divorced. In the past, we have neglected the qualitative aspects, and as a result of that, we have seen the issue of our water in our rivers. We've seen the impacts on our coral reefs. So this project, in many respects, is asking you to focus on the qualitative dimensions of nature, of our living. We cannot continue to destroy Mother Nature. Soufriere, we know, is the diamond in St. Lucia's crown. But a diamond can be adversely impacted if it is not cared for. And this project, this milestone today, is a clarion call to everybody in Soufriere. Rise and become your neighbor's keeper. Work with each other from the heights of Mount Jimmy to the depths of the SMME. Let us improve the quality of our water and our soil and our air and our land and our relationships. There is a gentleman I frequently like to quote. His name is Daniel Pulley. Daniel is a fisheries scientist who in 1995, working in Canada, came up with the concept of a shifting baseline syndrome. I want to repeat that. Shifting baseline syndrome. What is that? Daniel noted that every generation that comes will do a baseline study The baseline study says what is happening now, but not what it was before. Chances are the generation of today will look at the river and say, this is the river, this is the baseline. Those of us who were born in the 1940s and 50s and 60s say, no, wait a minute. That river, boats used to go up that river. So the baseline can't be that. The baseline has to be what it was 40 years ago. But in our studies, we consistently do baselines that tell us how bad we are doing, the things we are committing. And Polly emphasized that point. We should not allow this to happen to Soufriere. In 5 years' time, we must come here and celebrate an improvement in the quality of the environment in Soufriere. In fact, I almost believe that we should issue a challenge to the people of Soufriere. Perhaps Soufriere can become the first litter-free zone in St. Lucia, or the first litter-free community. Let us create visions that can move people to action. You have arguably the most beautiful place in the Caribbean. I've been to every Caribbean island, qualitative aspect. Let us not divorce them from each other. Let us understand that development is about caring, about even loving each other, and loving the environment. So it is really an honor to be here with you all today to celebrate this milestone, and for us in Soufriere to understand that we are privileged to be born in this place. My father was born, I always say that, but I didn't have that opportunity to be born in Soufriere. So I can say some of my genes are from Lawi Zaboka, where my grandmother was alive for many years. So I love this place called Soufriere. Let us begin this process. Let us come back in 3-4 years and see a difference. I want to make one more point before I close. This buoy down there, this boom down there, will not only collect the solid waste coming down, but it will tell us when Nadia produces her environmental reports, we'll see how many tons of plastics, how many tons of dead animals, how many that is thrown in there. Let us use this as the impetus for change. Let us use it to move forward and let this place called Soufriere paradise that it once was. You want to hear the description of Soufriere? Go to H.H. Breen's historical record of St. Lucia, how he describes this beautiful landscape. So once again, it's a pleasure for the Jeff Small Grants Program to be associated with this project. We look forward to the other aspects of the projects coming to fruition, and we are always here to support you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you very much. Set up this morning, while driving to work, I listened to the Prime Minister being drilled by reporters about water. And they kept asking him, what's in the budget for water? And he kept insisting. And before I say that, let me just thank, conservation and stuff like that. The greatest human resource we have is you and I. We have to make the difference. So everything we're doing there right now is up to us to tell the children don't litter. And for that, I would like to just spend a moment to say thanks again to the Soufriere Action Theatre group, because, I looked at that video, it was nice, it was well choreographed, and the children were involved, and we want to spread the word to every school. I was just telling some of our colleagues this afternoon what happened to me when I told a mother, that your child just littered. I can't repeat the things the mother said to me, but it was harsh. And if we can get the parents to tell the children what to do, tell the drivers, the transit drivers, to tell the people on your transit not to litter, to tell the kids when they crossing the river from school, don't throw things out into the river. We're putting a mask out there anyway to tell them don't do it. But it's all about the human resource. We need to get our people to change. So we can put $1 million into this project. Nothing will happen if we don't drive it. We're the ones said the message. And I was just again saying to another colleague this afternoon while we were chatting by the river, at the end of 2027, Soufriere should be a litter-free community, embracing tourists, you know, that we can be the trendsetters for the rest of the country to have a clean community. We ready? Yes. Good.
Let me just say, both videos, we had the youth members of the Suffrage Action Theatre who you saw took part in the music video launch, but we initially got the Suffrage Action Theatre through their community popular theatre method of bringing the message across. We have conducted several community meetings with them performing, and then we had to record their performance so that we can have it on our website, on the foundation's websites as well, and social media.
We go have to find out.
To another session with Toto. Tell me, my children, what are we going to talk about today?
Toto, from what I was wondering, why is always Canis and River Dory? Why is Super Canada have a river bash too?
Ah, very interesting question, my son. But let me hear from you first. What do you know about the Suffrage River?
It's dirty. It's polluted. And you can bathe in it or drink from it.
That is true.
Sewage and dead animals in it. It smells bad. The river is drying up.
All that you have said, my children, are true. But let me really tell you about this Suffrage River. Good people, Tinti, tout ça va bien été assimilé. Longtemps. Papa Bois, the spirit of the forest and the land, and Mama Glow, the spirit of the waters, came together and they decided to create the Suffrage River. It was a very difficult task. They decided that the river will run from Bois in the forest down to the coast. Ça veut dire, Mamaya, tout ça nous fait habitation. Vous pouvez compter? Papa Bois and Mama Blue, when they built the river, they put everything into the river to create a proper ecosystem in the river. Jaga, Mule, Tutu. So these things, Papa Boy and Mama Glow placed in the river and created the ecosystem and biodiversity of the river. They put grass in the river. They put stones in the river. And they put trees on the banks of the river. The river was healthy and alive. People were going to the river to wash, to bathe. You can lave, you can chocho as you wash. You can lablani what you are saying. Yes. People were catching quibish and Malay and Jaga in the river to cook what you now call river bash. Yes, they were doing it in the river. The river was a source of economics. People were catching quibish and Malay and tweet to sell and make a livelihood. Yes, but alas, this did not last long. The river and the biodiversity got destroyed. Yes, my people, they destroyed the river. But my children, all this was destroyed. La rivière, pas vivant encore. La rivière, pas ni la vie encore. Sur la terre.
How did that happen, Toto?
This is a very interesting question, my son. And a very long story. But I will tell you, because I do not want you to repeat the mistake that destroyed the Soufrière River.
Tell us.
Dis quick, Mamaïla.
Quoi?
Tim Tim.
Washes.
Qui ça vous bien mettait sous la tête?
Two chores.
In the 1940s and 50s, St. Lucia was moving from the production of sugarcane into the production of bananas. Be quick, Mamaila.
What?
The chemical agriculture was introduced on the island. Those chemicals leached into the river. Yes. When they started these banana plantations, they started to cut the trees on the river bank to make way for the plantations. Yes. The chemicals that they used leached into the river. Death and destruction reigned on the biodiversity of the river. The entire ecosystem of the river started to be destroyed. Yes. On top of that, vous commencez à jeter tout le temps tes bagailles à la rivière. Yo jeté caca, yo jeté vieux matelas, vieux taillard, vieux pan, vieux bombe, tout le temps tes cochonnies, yo jeté à la rivière. Yes. But there was this madman called Chuck. That is what Chuck used to say. Chuck started cleaning the river, building the bassin, and saving the Malay. However, Chuck died. The destruction of the river started all over again. My children, remember, water is life, but only if the river remains alive.
Water is life, is life is life. Water is life, is life is life. Water is life, is
they still do in Canaries and River Doe?
Positive.
Tell me, my children, do you want to be able to bathe in the river the same way they do in Canaries and River Doe?
Yes, I.
My children, do you want to be able to catch squid and hook on the lake to eat from the river?
Oh, yes.
Tell me, my children, do you want a clean source of water?
No doubt.
My children, do you love life?
Yes, yes, yes.
So let us pledge to rehabilitate the river and take care of it.
Gathering together, restoring, refactoring, let's rejuvenate it. Let's rehabilitate the river, river. 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 The river, river.
Put your hands together. And recognize the members of the Soufriere Action Theatre or stand, and put your hands together for them. Wonderful job. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Hoping by next year when we go in for Netflix, we can actually catch this when Soufriere, of course, becomes, the pilot project for the cleanest and litter-free community of not just St. Lucia, but the Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, to show appreciation for our good work with our Clearwater project, to tell us more about the vision for a cleaner Soufriere and how we develop our tourism product, I want you to put your hands together for our parliamentary representative, the Honorable Emma Hippolyte, to give a few remarks today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to recognize among us Mr. Giles Romulus of Jeff. I also want to recognize, is it Dr. Judy Xavier, board member of Jeff. Let us show our appreciation to Jeff for support of this particular project. Now we have a young lady there from Waterways, and I do not have her name. What's her name? Pauline. Colin of Waterways, welcome. I recognize here Mr. Auger from the SRDF and Mr. Salterbus and the management team of SRDF. Let us recognize Mr. Dalson of the SMMA. We have a gentleman here from Water Resource Management. Yes, okay, we had a chat earlier on. I recognize the mayor, Mr. Auger, not Mr. Auger, Mr. Cletus Didier, and the staff of the Soufriere Council. Let us show our appreciation. We recognize Miss Nadia Casabon, who is the driver behind this project on the ground. Let us show our appreciation to Nadia. I recognize the team from Soufriere Action Theatre, Mr. Jude, Steve Vacco, Mr. Moses, and the rest, and the young one, the youngest of the team, Moses and Go Moses. I recognize Rita from Fisheries. Rita was there with us. Where's Rita? She has left us. I recognize the rep from the Ministry of Health and Environment, Environmental Health, and there was another person here. Huh? Solid Waste. Ah, that's right. Okay. But I don't have a name, sorry. Crystal from Solid Waste. We have a rep from the fire service. I feel it's important that we recognize and mention the persons here because our task here, we have a small group here, but it is critical that we understand our role. I see Ms. Joseph from the fisheries. And I'm saying this because all our key persons here or organizations have a responsibility going forward. SAT have started by putting the context in terms of what the river was before and presenting a video that is going to encourage our young people, give them the background and encourage them to commit to doing so. Now, we do not have many school children here, but I'm hoping that with this video, we can actually cause our children to have significant buy-in on that project. I want to tell you that it is a project that I'm committed to support from the very beginning to now. I want to tell you that when it was presented to the Cabinet of Ministers, many other parliamentary reps have bought into that project. I'm pleased that Nadia reported that this is the second river boom that we are installing, and that I believe you have a request to install others. That's important for us because it's no secret that in addition to clean water, we now have an issue of quantity and quality of water. In Soufrière in particular, we are challenged with both. And as a country, and not only in Soufrière, as a country, the issue of water for us is becoming a priority of great magnitude. Because Mr. Romila sort of hinted and spoke on it, we have the issue of quantitative and qualitative development. And we now have a rush in terms of construction of hotels, expansion of housing development, but the plan to ensure that we have the water for this, and water being both quantity and quality, is lagging behind the quantitative. So it is important that we are doing this project here. It's important as well that in addition to this particular project, we do other things simultaneously. And my conversation with the minister, the previous minister for agriculture in particular, was what do we do up in the forest? What do we do in Fosséjacques and at the, what you call our river source, our water source? What are the things that we have to do there to ensure that the quantity of water is preserved? And now we have a responsibility, working with WASCO, to identify sources of water in the forest. And how do we protect it? How do we protect it from the cultivation of, for Fosséjacques first, from the cultivation of dasheen? It's important because with the cultivation of dasheen comes the use of fertilizer. So we need to identify the sources, government need to acquire, and we need to protect it so that what is coming down from Fosséjacques is clean water, undiluted. But we have another issue. Coming down also in Fosséjacques or along the road, the river, and the waterways, is the cultivation of our pig pens. And it's an issue that we've discussed. It also has to be a national priority that we remove the pig pens away from our waterways. It is easy for the farmers because there's a source of water to clean, but it is also a source of contamination of our waters. So with the incentives, as a government, the incentives we are providing to our farmers, now we have to link it to saying we can only give you this incentive if you shift, and we will also help you shift your pig pen. The two must be linked. Now, we cannot do that, or I cannot do it alone. I'm trying to use Soufrière as a pilot, as usual, because I believe strongly that we have to do this. We've been talking about it for a few years now, but unless we take that responsibility, all of us, even to remove our pig pens from our from Barron's Drive, for example. We have a lot of our fishers having, pigs along the beach. They think it's easy. It's not a problem. All of us must be able to speak the same language to say, you are contaminating. You are doing something that is wrong. You need to relocate. We need to have that story. All of us must say the same thing. All of us must say the same thing. Public information, again, now that you have had this jingle, that song by AFA, and you have a video, but we must buy into that project by spreading the word. It is important. For me being here today, as I was speaking to Mr. Romulus, and I think he too, I had to put aside my church service at the cathedral. But we felt that we could not defer this anymore. We've had one date and we had to postpone it, and we felt we had to really launch that program. It is important for us. It is important for this country. But for Soufrière, in terms of our objective of making it a litter-free zone, there is significant work we have to do, not only for our people, but as well as with the staff of the Soufrière Constituency Council. There is significant work we have to do in terms of the training. I am pleased that Nadia has started by having the drone and training 13 drone technicians. But we need to work with our soldiers, the team from the Soufrière Constituency Council on the ground, so that we understand things. We inform people. We now have the project that is collecting what's in the river, classifying it, having that data, but we need to share it with the people. We need to share it so that they understand what is coming down into the river. We need to be able to do so. So I'm particularly pleased as well that I'm seeing some of our daughters from Foshajac, Feria, and Chalon, that I'm hoping that you can be ambassadors up there to start that. We've just formed a Foshajac Farmers Cooperative, and I think that's the only way to try to impress upon people. We could not, if we have individual farmers, then it's a lot more challenging to get the work done. So we formed the Foshajac Farmers Cooperative, and as I tell you, in order for that cooperative to get support, there are certain things that we'll be doing through them. So we have to bring the people together. It is us, it is our place. Soufrière Sesano. We have to transform it. I am also now placed at the Ministry of Equity, and we have responsibility for social transformation. I can tell you, yesterday we had a heads of department meeting that lasted the entire day, about 5. And our challenge is, what are some of the messages we have to put out there to start transforming the minds of our people to some of the things, the changes that we want. We can do physical changes, but how do we transform the minds of our people? Guamun, Genmun, Timamai. How do we transform the minds so that we understand that this small piece of paradise, as we said, is our protected? All of us have a stake in there. It's not a stake for the future, it's a stake for now. Because now we don't have water. Not the future, it is the now. So I am calling on each one of us to accept that responsibility that we have to preserve our water, conserve it, protect it, and keep it clean. So I want to thank all the key players, all our partners for the commitment. I want to thank in particular Nadia, who's on the ground, because you are the driver and everything depends on your pace. You are the ones, and I always feel that sometimes when we're doing something and we cannot climb the pitons, then we have to dig a hole in the piton. So you know what I'm saying, but we have to get to the objective. And what is the objective? The objective is to ensure we have cleaner waters. I remember very clearly when I visited South Africa last year. I think I shared this with you. No, there was an exhibition, and they too have challenges with clean water. And I noted that they were using the cuscus grass to plant on the water, on the river, to purify it. So I'm really hoping that we can do some research in there, and while we do all the things to clean the river, we can put some cuscus grass on it so that it can clean the water. That's what I saw. And I think I took some documentation on that. So with these viewers, I really want to encourage, I want to thank first all of you for being here. I want to thank Nadia, Giles, and Caribbean Waterways for that project. I want to thank the council for assigning 2 staff members to the project. I want to thank them as well, because you need to maintain it, you have to be consistent. And I want all of us to be the mouthpiece of this project. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. Honorable, you said something there a while ago, and you said changing minds, and you know, a few of us keep watching each other, because, including Mr. we had a training session recently on social media and how to capture the audience, and those kind of words came up, and we smiled at each other, because you know, it's about changing minds, how to put together a story and capture the imagination of people so we can sell a message. And I mean, all of us learned from it. SRDF was on board, you know, a few members from all our board members were on board, and it was very exciting. So when you said that there, we said, you know, a few of us kept watching each other, you know, because yeah, that the instructor kept driving it in there. You have to change minds, and there's a methodology of doing it. Okay, and we can't go for it now because it'll be a whole class all over again. So once again, thank you very much for those inspiring words. To close us off this afternoon, I would like to call upon Nadia again for the vote of thanks and show some level of appreciation. Put your hands together for her.
Okay, good afternoon again once more, everybody. There's a long list of persons that we need to thank for the 2 videos and the litter boom, so I'm going to run through them because we need to recognize them. First and foremost, Osprey Initiative, which is a company in the US that we procured the litter boom from. For us, waterways in the US, we also have litter booms installed in several rivers in Tennessee, in the southeastern section of the US. And this is, as we have mentioned, the second one for Soufrière. And the full intention of the litter booms is not just to stop the garbage from getting to the sea, but we want to see if we can get for Soufrière, because we couldn't get it for Shock, enough garbage that we can start recycling the plastic bottles. So in the US, they recover as many bottles. There's a grading criteria for the bottles if it is clean enough. Coca-Cola is trying to reduce the amount of, or increase, the number of recycled bottles that they use by 2030, which is a couple years away. So we want to see if we can get enough plastic bottles through the Soufrière River, as well as through our trash separation program, which is coming on stream. That's something else you'll be hearing about very soon. So we can see whether we have the volume to see if it would be cost effective to actually ship those plastic bottles shredded to the US for it to be recycled by the companies that Coca-Cola has already contracted. The first litter boom that we installed was actually with funding from Heineken St. Lucia through the Coca-Cola Foundation. So that is the loop for that. So other than OSP initiative, I want to thank Mr. George Evelyn, who has been giving us some pro bono brokerage services. The staff from the Suffolk Regional Development Foundation, Lysander and his team, for assisting us in installing the litter boom this morning, as well as the staff from the SMMA, Mr. Butcher and Mr. Tristan, who assisted in splicing the rope to secure the boom this morning. I also want to thank the Suffolk Hospital because we stored our litter boom there, and we will be using there as a base if we need to take it out of the river, because there's a management plan for the litter boom. In the event of heavy rainfall or a storm, our plan is to remove the litter boom. It has a clasp that if the river has a flash flood, it has a weak link. That clasp will break after a certain amount of pressure, I think 300 pounds per square inch. It will break on one side and float harmlessly to the side. So we will lose the garbage it has collected, but we will not lose the litter boom, which is very expensive, so we can replace it. So we've had to remove the litter boom from the Shock River on 2 occasions because of that, and we will adopt this same practice for Sufra as well. For the videos, the first one, the song by Arthur, I want to thank again Arthur Allen for being our champion, and he has agreed to be our social media influencer. So as you were saying, Honorable Hippolyte, through this same Flowing Clean project, we trained several persons, 13 persons in social media for behavioral change. We have had several social media trainings amongst the organizations, but understanding that getting persons to change their behavior is a process that has never been captured. So this is the first workshop that I think everybody attended, where you would be able to understand and appreciate that to get persons to change their behavior, you do not just put out one ad. There's a process to go through. So look out very soon for our videos. We have our stars, Chantal from the foundation, Ronald from PMA, Rita and Glenda. You will be seeing our faces. So Dexter Phillips from Sanu TV, St. Lucia, he is the videographer who put together the video, and of course the SAT youth personnel. You saw the names on the screen, and I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Regis, Mr. Jude, and Mr. Sivako for getting the youth together so that they are at a stage now where they are now starring on our videos. And I want to say, one of the first, something that has stayed with me from the time I was a very young teacher, was something SAT did for the SMMA years ago. They actually had a video SMMA that they did for SMMA on the Soufrière waterfront. Do you all remember that? And the catchphrase then was Tout ça fait à soulate, obligé sati, bolame enlé. And if that happened since the 1990s and we're still repeating the same thing, we need to start finding ways to actually, persons are aware. We now have to start finding ways to get them to change their behaviors. Presentation of what it is that they're dropping, and to now start telling them how it is affecting their health. Because through this project, we have already found things that are affecting our health in Soufrière, and that is going to become apparent very soon. The second video, I want to thank again SAT, but also the videographer, Mr. Keita Prosper from Capture Photography, who unfortunately could not be here with us, for putting the video together. And of course, the funding agency, Jeff Small Grants, in the person of Mr. Giles Romulus, but also his National Steering Committee, Ms. Xavier. Dr. King asked me to make apologies on his behalf. He wanted to be here as well, and I hope he's following online. He asked me to send him the link because we're live streaming it as well. ProCarry Plus and all the partners in Colombia and in the UN, but also the Soufrière Regional Development Foundation, as I said, who is a co-funder and a implementation partner for the Flowing Clean project. All of you who are present, and especially the members of the Soufrière River Systems Management Committee, let me ask you to please stand to identify yourselves so that persons know who make up the Soufrière River Systems Management Committee. They are my technical management members. So we have members from St. Lucia Solid Waste Management Authority, who is injured, so she can't really stand right now, so I'll excuse her. We have Mrs. Prosper from Environmental Health, Mrs. Isidore Jules Isidore from the PMA, Mrs. Strawn, Mitchell from Fisheries. We have Mr. Movin Englis from Water Resources Management Agency. We have Mr. Cyril Saltibus from the SRDF. Mr. Oje, who is the chair, he sits. Mr. Dalsa from the SMMA. We have Mrs. Shala Pascal Cadet from the Fontijac Development Committee. Mrs. Vilma Joseph, who is from the Fisheries Cooperative. Am I missing anybody? And of course, you all know Colleen Edwards, my colleague from Caribbean Sea Waterways. Thank you very much, everybody. And while you go ahead and enjoy the refreshments that are being provided, I'm going to play the videos on a loop. And we have the link available. If any of you want to put it on your organization's websites, feel free to ask me and I will. Oh, yes, and I actually have copies there, you know. We have a charter for the Soufrière River that we have set ourselves an ambitious task of getting 4,000 signatures, and we are not there as yet. I actually have in my bag, and I came with it, copies of the charter for you to take back to your organizations, and the link for persons to scan for them to sign. So while you're enjoying the refreshments, before you leave, those who have to travel, I will give you a copy to take back to your workplaces and to encourage your staff, because the charter is not just for Soufrière people to sign, it's for all of St. Lucia to sign. So the charter is basically a pledge to play your part to protect the river. All right, so from our social media training, one of the things we will be doing, we'll be placing 2 signs to inform persons what the river boom is about, and we'll be placing a QR code persons can scan for them to find out more about the project and to click and sign on to the charter as well. Thank you very much for coming. Please enjoy the refreshments.